So, students, in the last video, we talked about that how the middle class and the philosophers, they informed the people that what kind of government ideally should be there. And the middle class, of course, which was more educated and empowered, they were taking very keen interest in change of government when they all the French people received the information that Louis XVI was planning to impose a new tax. And that definitely, as I told you earlier, that the tax was only a burden of the third estate, right? So they got very angry. Now, the process was that on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called an assembly of the Estates General. His court was called Estates General, and he called the assembly and to pass the proposal for new tax. Now this hall was full of candidates. And sadly, the first and the second estate had sent 300 representatives each, but the 600 members of the third estate, which comprised 90% of population, were standing. They did not even get the proper respect that they should be as member of the house. And they were represented, the third estate here in the court, of course, were represented by the prosperous and the educated members, peasants, artisans, women, who all were considered the third-rate citizens, were kept out of the assembly hall. So they had, but the members who were there inside the court were carrying their grievances, their complaints, and their suggestions. When voting was done, now remember that the first estate had one vote, and the second estate had one vote, and the third estate had one vote, right? So 10% had two votes, whereas the 90% had one vote. So now the members of the third estate demanded that they should be given more weightage, more voting rights, because this was not equality. The first two estates, who were hardly paying anything, were getting majority votes to cast, and whereas the third estate, which was bearing all the burden, were given minority vote. So when this was this was discussed, they were not allowed to increase the voting rights or the weightage. So the members of the third estate walked out of the assembly, and they gathered on 5th May they walked out of the assembly, but on 20th June they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the grounds of Versailles. It's written as Versailles, but the pronunciation is Versailles. And they declared that we, the third estate, the majority of citizens, are the National Assembly. We are going to be the national parliament of France, and we would decide how the country should be run. We will put a limit to the powers of the monarch. Now they were led by two people called Mirabeau and Abbeseis, Mirabeau and Abbeseiyes. So Mirabeau was belonging to the second estate, actually, being born in the noble family, but he did not like the society full of feudal privileges. Now feudal privileges means where the higher class is the owner of the land and the lower class is made to work on the same land, but they get no rights or no profits or no advantages. So he delivered a very powerful speech at this meeting of the National Assembly. Abbeseis, who actually belonged to the first estate, he had been a priest. He wrote a very influential pamphlet called "What is the Third Estate?" So how ironical, but to the advantage of the revolutionaries, that their leaders were the member of first estate and the second estate, but they were supporting the third estate. Now once they declared themselves as National Assembly, they started drafting the constitution. You remember 1946, Indian constitution drafting was started. right? And 1950 it was adopted. Similarly, to run any country based on democracy or parliamentary kind of government, a constitution is very very important, whether it is written or unwritten, whether it be USA, whether it be Great Britain, whether it is India, whether it is Republic of South Africa. These all are parliamentary country. Of course, England has constitutional monarchy, so they all have constitution, whether written or unwritten. So National Assembly started drafting the constitution, but rest of France was burning with anguish, anger, and turmoil. It had been a really bad winter, and bad winter meant loss of crops, bad harvest. And so again, like subsistence crisis, the price of bread increased. Bakers exploited the situation. They started black marketing and hoarding the supplies. But and crowds, the masses had to spend hours and hours in front of the baker's shop. Still they did not get it, so they all stormed into the bakery, and they stormed into the shops. And on the other side, the king ordered the troops to move into Paris. And on 14 July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille. Now, what was Bastille, which was destroyed on 14th July 1789? It was a prison, a royal prison, which was stormed by people and put on fire, and the prisoners were set free. This was a formal declaration of revolt against monarchy, and that is why when we talk of French Revolution, this date, 14 July 1789, is labeled as one of the most important dates. So when this happened, then rumors spread in villages and countryside that the king had ordered the troops to and the lords of the manor. Now, what is manor? Manor is a kind of big land which has the house of the landlord, many fields. The workers working in the field live there only. It might have its own church, etc. So they got the rumor that the lord of the manor have called the people to crush the revolt, and so they destroyed the ripe crops. The peasants rushed to they looted the hoarded grain, burnt down the documents that proved their manorial dues, like what payment they had to make to the lord of the manor. And lord, in this revolt, in this violence, lot of nobles fled from their areas, and they even left the country. So Louis XVI had to accept the power and the existence of National Assembly, and he accepted that his powers would be controlled now. France is not going to be only a monarchy. It's going to be a sort of constitutional monarchy where the king and the nobles would stay, but the major decisions will be decided by the National Assembly, legislature, imposing or making them functional. The laws that are made will be the duty of the king and the royalty, and judiciary, of course, is going to settle the conflicts. So this was the story of the outbreak of the French Revolution. In next class, we'll talk about the consequences of this outbreak after France became a constitutional monarchy.